What's up YouTube? This is AZTEK Paintball and welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel if you're one of those that watch my videos. And this video is to go over the chunga spawns for the new legendary mission Manning National Zoo on Division 2. Here we go. So the first two sections of the zoo do not have a chunga. So once you actually make it inside the aquarium, expect the chunga probably like right away. He spawns at 12 o'clock and he usually moves slowly to the right side. So this will be your first chunga encounter. In the next area, expect a few dogs and a few enemies for the first spawn. Once you've cleared that spawn, watch that door on the right side. A chunga will spawn from there along with a few enemies, and a dog will spawn on the opposite side on the left. Once that second spawn is done, you may want to put your skills on the left side there, or be ready with your damage on the left side. This section and the chunga that will spawn there will be activated once somebody physically makes it through the gates on the right side there, where Nas is going. And this will spawn the chunga from that door. Once you've cleared the previous section, this area has a few enemies, a few dogs, and also two pretty heavy snipers on the right side. Once you've cleared that, the next spawn is a chunga that will appear on the left side where you just came from that door. The two helicopters also dropped a surprise for you. There is a second chunga that will appear. He usually walks right in the middle and he jumps the fence, and he usually appears right in front of you. Now my friends, you are at the Crocodile pit. It's usually not a bad idea to have a healer here because you will fight from those gates as soon as you jump down. Expect a chunga on the third wave. It will appear from the door all the way on the opposite side. And that chunga usually will make his way all the way to the door. But if you got enough damage and DPS, you should have no problem taking it down. Especially if you have a healer also to keep you alive. So you've made it to the indoor gardens where the birds are. There's a first wave to wipe. Once you've completed that wave, right in front of me here to my left, there will be another spawn coming in from that door. Each platform that you reach, enemies will spawn from a door to its left. And as you make it towards the top, expect a chunga from the doors straight ahead to your left, as you will see in the next video. So now that they've cleared everything, chunga spawns on the left side there. And once you've killed him, you've cleared it, you're on to the next area. Alright, so this section is where the elephant statues and all the statues are. This is probably one of the heaviest area. I usually try to stay in this area here, put my mortars out, try to stay here as long as possible to try to wipe enemies quickly. If that does not work, you want to fall back inside. I believe there's two chungas here that will appear. The first one will be on either a door or an helicopter on the left side. Not quite sure. Usually we always fall back inside, so it's a bit of a surprise when he appears. There are 2 choppers that will land on the right side, but there's no 2 chungas. So in this area, expect 2 chungas coming from the left side. Usually you have no problems staying in here and wiping it before he shows up at the door.
Assistance needed.
And now you're about to board the monorail. It's gonna put you on the other side at a bamboo area. It's a bit of a surprise how you spawn there. But if you don't interact with the enemies, you have 2 choices. You could either have someone with a tank or a DPS, make it sway the bottom left and wrap around and take out the EMP with his gun. Or option 2 is to have a skill build with the oxidizer and to shoot it and take care of it. But the only issue here is you need to know exactly where it is, because there are a lot of bamboos that gets in the way. Either way, you take it out. You don't have to worry about your skills getting destroyed or pulsed. And then you take on everybody that shows up in front of you. There will be 2 chungas almost immediately that will show up on the top right. And you could easily stay back behind the monorail and take them out. So the next area also has an EMP. It's highly recommended to run straight ahead, go left. I'm currently on a skill build. I'm not doing a whole lot of damage, but you should have no problem taking that EMP out. Once it's out, you make your way right back to where you came from, because there is a first chunga that is already out and active in the area. Now, after this first wave, keep an eye on your left side. There's a red marker on the minimap. There's a chunga that will come out from the left door. He usually makes his way all the way up front. He stops on the road, and then he turns and starts fighting you. If you focus your skills on him or your damage, your DPS, you should have no problem wiping him. He is chunga number 2, and there are no more chungas in this area. Now this area has a chunga. He usually spawns right away, but he spawns all the way in the back. So it does give you enough time to make your way in, find a good placement for your turret, and let her rip and kill all the enemies. Now you've made it to the final section before the boss. If you don't spawn to the enemies or don't interact with them, you can make your way all the way up front on the left side and try to find a good placement again for your turret. And once again, if you don't interact with them, you should have no problem making your way back to your buddies. At some point, an helicopter will spawn on the left side there, where your turret was initially. He is the one and only chunga in this area. So if you get it under control, usually this area is not a problem. Well, congratulations, you made it to the final boss, the final section of the mission, the polar bear area. Normally here, we either run 1 DPS or 1 tank, and 3 skill builds. After the first 2 waves, it's not a bad idea to switch your skills. Keep your turret, but put a Jammer Pulse, because the next 2 waves will be a bunch of dogs, and you will thank me for it. Once the dog wave is over, a chunga will appear from the left door on the left side of the map there.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Now you're on the chunga wave, and once everybody's dead, then you have the 2 main bosses that will come out. It's probably a good idea to try to wipe all the small enemies and leave the big chungas alone for the final fight. Once everyone is dead, with the exception of the 2 bosses, it gives you enough time to go in your menu and probably have the 3 skill builds change manually to 3 DPS all red. I put a revive vibe on, I put a decoy, or you could use a chem launcher with foam to do a little bit of CC, a little bit of distraction on the enemies. And then you go and you manually change your build to all reds. You can either run the Ravenous or the Bullet King to try to do as much damage as possible and quickly to the 2 bosses. Now all is left to do is kill them. The first thing you want to do is shoot them in the back, destroy their red tanks, and they're fairly easy to do. Then, well, you don't go in your photo mode like I did, but I thought that was a pretty cool shot. You want to make sure that you crowd control them. Foam, blinder, you have a tank that will grab aggro. And from that point on, it's just a matter of DPSing his armor. Once his armor is gone, his back is exposed, and you will finish him in seconds. So this is it, Agent. You've just killed the bosses and you've completed the mission. Hopefully my video helped you understand where the chunga spawns and how many of them. I find chungas are usually a major pain in the butt in the legendary missions. It's very important to destroy their backpacks. Even if they're down and dead once on the floor, it doesn't mean that a revive hive can't come back and get them back up. And that happens a lot on this mission. I hope you enjoyed the video and it was useful to you in completing Manning National Zoo on Legendary for the Division 2. I'm AZTEK Paintball. I'm signing out. We'll see you on the next video.